Hey, there is so much going on in this world and maybe in your world personally. So this practice is intended to soothe the nervous system. It's a gentle practice that will release a lot of stress in the legs, but also give you a little more buoyancy because we're taking our nervous system down a notch or two through these practices, through moving our bones through this type of shape, and also with a little breathing practice, pranayama, at the beginning and also at the end of today's practice. So get yourself a couple of blocks if you have them, a blanket, a yoga strap, and let's get started. Hey, so we're going to begin today's practice on our back. You can see I'm in constructive rest. You've got your feet on the floor, knees above them, and hands on your lower abdomen. I have something under the back of my head because it just feels nice to have that little support. If that feels good for you, go ahead and do the same, a pillow or a blanket, and then palms onto your lowest part of your abdomen, so you could take a big breath in and feel that breath really fill you up. And as you exhale, just releasing the tension out of the abdomen, diaphragm. And let's do 5 more of these. These are ways that we can very simply get our nervous system, central nervous system, to get on board with a more relaxed way of being. Inhale. And exhale. We're allowing ourselves to harness our central nervous system rather than be run by it, because the anxiety is real, the worry, the dread, all of that is real. So we want to really give ourselves a chance to just not let our entire system get degraded or wound up. So we'll do one more breath here. And exhale that breath all away. Really good. So left foot's on the floor and left knee is right above it. And then take a yoga strap around the sole of the right foot. Bend the right knee into your chest and extend your right heel up to the ceiling. Draw your toes back down towards your knee. Now, if your leg is out here, that is okay. If your knee has to stay bent, that is okay. You just want to play with what feels right for you. What you're looking for here is a lengthening or stretching feeling through the back of the leg. You might feel it more pronouncedly in the calf or the hamstring or perhaps both. Wherever it is, that's all good. And then you want to drop your shoulders down your back and your elbows to the floor so that you're not creating tension in the upper neck or spine as you're releasing through the back of the leg. So we're releasing the back of the leg because a lot of the work that we're going to do today is forward folds, and we want to have our hamstrings and calves like, okay, gotcha. I know what we're up to, sister. So here we go. 5 more breaths here. And really letting yourself sit with the experience of the stretch and maybe breathing into it as well. Relaxing forehead, and we'll take 2 more. Really feel your breath. Big breath in. And then exhale. Let's turn this into a supine figure 4. So we're going to have that right ankle across the left leg. Interlace your hands or use the yoga strap around the back of the left hamstring, drawing legs in. Flex your toes back. You can have your eyes closed here if that feels good for you. One of the key things in yoga is pratyahara, that's drawing our senses inward. And there are ways that we can do that. Why would the yogis want that? Because internally there's a greater spaciousness, and often we can control our breath, our breathing, and we can't always access control over the external world, often not. We do our best, but things happen, and so here we are allowing ourselves to come back to the sanctity of our own body, our own breath, and this moment. We'll take 1 more big breath here. Very good. And exhale it out. Both feet on the floor, back into constructive rest, palms spin to the ceiling. Drop your shoulders. 1 big breath here before we move to the other side. Nice. And then take your yoga strap. We're going to wrap the yoga strap around the sole of that left foot or towel, whatever you got handy, and then draw the left toes down. And again, repeat what you're doing with your arms and hands so that you have a relaxed energy through your upper chest and arms and shoulders and neck as you're releasing through the back of the leg. And don't be surprised if the left side is different than the right. We appear symmetrical. We are not. From a physiological point of view, there's a lot of asymmetry in our bodies, and they have had different histories, but also we're just structured differently on each side, right? Think about your abdominal organs. They're different on each side, you know, and if you're a righty, if you're right dominant, you're going to have a different experience. If you use a clutch or a stick shift, you're going to have a different experience of your legs, right? If you drive a lot, your right leg might feel a little tighter. Your right foot might be a little more nervous, right? Because it's doing a lot of braking and gassing. So, you know, it's all good. It's just different. And just allow yourself to experience the generosity of that grace. Pushing the left heel up, we'll take 2 more breaths here. And then release that, bend into the left knee, left ankle across the right, and then drawing your legs towards you. Supine figure 4 is a beautiful way to release through that piriformis muscle. Relax shoulders, breath in, breath out. Listening for the sound of your own breath, the rhythm of your own thoughts, and the openness, the willingness to be open in the chest as you release through the lower body. Very relaxing to get rid of the stress, but also we're going to do some specific poses that are intended to take down anxiety. So 1 more breath here. Really nicely done. Exhale, knees come into your chest. And then we're going to flip to one side and come on up into child's pose. So you can have your knees mat width, which is what I'd recommend, and your big toes straight back, arms reaching out in front of you, and drop your forehead. If your forehead doesn't easily touch the mat, this is okay. Just get a block and pop it underneath your forehead here. And we've got 5 more breaths. Very nicely done. And then let's come up into tabletop, and we're going to do 2 cat and cows. So inhale, lift your head, heart, and your tail. And then as you exhale, drop your tailbone, drop your head, lift the middle of your back up to the ceiling. And 1 more time, we'll bend elbows, lengthening. And then exhale, round. Roll over your toes, downward facing dog. You can have your knees bent here. You want to check in with your low back and see how it feels. If it feels good to bend your knees, bend them. If it feels okay to lengthen your heels towards the floor, lengthen them. You get ultimate decision power. It's your body, and it is your choice. Relax your neck and head. Shake it side to side and let go, let go, let go. Moving your chest a little bit closer to your thighs. We'll take 5 more breaths. So this type of inversion, downward dog, is also an anti-anxiety. Your heart is, your head is actually lower than your heart, closer to the ground. You feel really good. We'll take, here we go, 2 more. Inhale, fill it up, lift your tailbone, lift your sitting bones. Exhale, return the breath. 1 more. Really nicely done. Exhale it out. And we're going to step that right foot forward, come into a warrior 1. So your left foot is down, your left toes point up to the top left corner of the mat, arms rise to begin. Inhale, or maybe your right knee is 90 degrees or somewhere near there. That's okay. Pull your biceps back, and then interlace your hands behind you. Open up through your chest here. And then tip forward, forward, forward into humble warrior. So again, these inversions can be very soothing for the nervous system. This is not an easy pose, but it's so powerful. You're going to draw back with that right hip. Did you notice it's trying to move itself forward? That's okay. We know that. So we're going to continue to work with it. Raising your hands a little bit more, last 3. Relax your head down. 2 and 1. Release your hands. Sweep yourself back up. Core is engaged into warrior 1. And then open it out. Warrior 2. Breathing here. Reverse your warrior. And then pivot now. Toes point towards one another. We're going into Prasarita Padottanasana. I'd recommend you take that yoga strap or a towel if you have it. And you can place it behind you with your hands holding onto it about shoulder width. You want about shoulder width. You're opening up through the chest here, and then bend into your knees and come forward. So the yoga strap with your hands about shoulder width, maybe a little wider, is going to reach forward. So here we are in a forward fold. Press into the outer edges of each foot. Lift the tailbone any amount more. Reach your arms forward, forward, forward. Maybe getting a little more give in the shoulders. That will help release our necks and upper back. But this pose, full-on anti-anxiety pose here. This is a pose intended to create a little more calm in our bodies. Take one more breath here. And then bend your knees, release the yoga strap. We're not done yet with this pose. What I'd like you to do is either place your hands behind you, fingertips moving away from you, or you can use a block or a book or a bolster or something. If your hands don't quite reach the floor, you can use a prop to help yourself get there. And then again, toes are in, heels are out, and we're just going to breathe here, tipping yourself forward. Letting each breath be heard by your vagus nerve. Allows our bodies to come into a more parasympathetic state so we can be more relaxed, so we can be more clear, so we can feel more embodied, and we can access that beautiful energy within. Last big breath. Really nicely done. Full breath in. And exhale the breath all out. Place your hands on the floor or blocks in front of you. Bend your knees. Come on up to standing. Very good. And then pivot. So your left foot is forward. And you've got yourself moving into a warrior 1 here with the left foot forward. Arms elevate and reach. Reach that right arm up a little more so the right ribs can move forward. Inhale, and then same action. We're going to interlace our hands behind us. Open up through the chest first. Keep your core engaged as you pull yourself forward. Maybe you stop at the near your left thigh, or maybe you drop that left shoulder on the inside of the left knee. Arms reach up. Pull back with the left hip. Reach your arms up a little more. Very good. 2 more breaths. Here we go. Last one. Inhale. Arms continue to rise perhaps. And exhale. We're going to release. Sweep your hands down. Maybe graze the floor. Core is engaged. Come on up. Warrior 1. And then open it out. Warrior 2. Very nicely done. Reverse inhale. And then come on up. We're going to now have our feet a little more narrow, so they could be a little wider than hip width distance. Hands can be on your hips to begin. Bend your knees and then tip your pelvis right over the top of the thigh bones. Hands can come to the floor or a block, which is kind of where I'm going to work. So I've got 2 blocks. I've had them at the highest setting, and I'm going to drop my head towards them, towards the floor. So if you do widen your feet a little bit more, what this pose gives you access to, if you've got the blocks, is to place the frenulum, the very top of your head, onto the blocks. You might need, if you've got a ponytail, you might need to rearrange it, but that is very soothing. And then hands come to your ankles. This is a very soothing, classic way. What you don't want is compression in the cervical spine, so make sure that the blocks are high enough, but not too high. If they are, you should shorten your stance so that your feet are a little more narrow instead of wider. Wider is going to let you slide down more. A little more narrow is going to give you more space. So you're never compressing the cervical spine. Instead, you're giving your neck a chance to just get some support here. It's such a great pose. You're tipping forward into the balls of your feet, and we've got 5 more breaths. Soothing breath, sides of the neck let go. Tip your tailbone up. And then bend into your knees. Hands come to your hip bones. Nice long spine, almost like an upward dog in the chest. Come on up to standing. And then we'll just step it up to the top of the mat, moving things out of the way so you can have some space. And then let yourself come back right into a downward facing dog. Just going to take 5 breaths here. Spinning your triceps towards the back of your feet. One more breath. Inhale. Very nicely done. Exhale. We're coming forward. And then I'd like you to sit on a blanket if you have it, or a cushion, or something that kind of takes any rounding out of your back. So for the final moments of this practice, this is a really important piece of the practice because you can do this anytime that you're feeling stressed. So take your right hand, your right thumb, and you're going to gently close the right nostril. And then when it's time to, you're going to use your ring and your pinky finger to close the left nostril. We're going to begin by closing the right nostril. We'll inhale through the left, we'll exhale through the right, then we'll inhale right, and we'll exhale left. That's one full cycle of breath. This is alternate nostril breathing. You must begin and end on the left. If you begin and end on the right, you're going to activate. What we're doing is we're calming. So take your right thumb, gently press into the right nostril. Your other fingers, your middle finger and your index finger can go at the third eye or even at the thumb mound. So that's where those puppies go. All right, right nostril closed by the right thumb, and then inhale left. Close the left nostril, exhale right. Inhale right. Close that up, exhale left. That's one cycle. Here we go. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close the right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Good, keep going. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close. Exhale right. Inhale. Exhale left. Let's do 3 more rounds. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Really good. Place both hands on your knees. Eyes stay closed. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Notice if there's a little more spaciousness internally. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose. Last one here. In. Very good. And exhale. Nice. And then we'll take just a few minutes Shavasana. What I'd like you to do is to have something underneath the back of your head, and then take a block or two or another blanket and place it on your abdomen. So that's another way to get the vagus nerve to work with us. We're actively creating this sort of soothing feeling for it. Palms spin to the ceiling. And let's just rest here. Drop your shoulders. Relax the back of your head. Shavasana. And then remove the blocks if that's what you have on you. Tip to one side, press the earth up. Comfortable seated position. Thank you so much. I wish you a day that is calm and peaceful internally. Namaste, and I'll see you next time.